Hello Ravers, I'm Brawlers and welcome to the Electric DM Hall of Fame. This is the video documentary series that covers iconic and pinnacle DJs slash producers of the electronic dance music world. During the time making and posting of this video, the project being covered is still in the professional EDM scene, creating bangers, touring slash performing, or both. As the world of electronic music has countless DJs and producers, very few have the bragging rights to show how their project shaped the entire EDM scene. With that said, this series of videos will cover the project, the creator or members, and tours slash travels. Most importantly, the music that got these projects the impactful recognition for all the listeners and fans. Lastly, some songs easily resembling a generation, an era, and in some cases, representing a category of EDM itself. For a project to be placed in the Electric DM Hall of Fame, at least two of the first four requirements must be met, and the last one being mandatory. First, creator of a record label and or 10 plus years of the tours slash travels. Second, must be familiar with at least two categories of EDM or more. Examples will be hardstyle and progressive house. Third, gargantuan standings in the EDM scene. Any example listed below will qualify the project. Fourth, recognized for shifting the music scene, earning nominations and or awards such as the Grammys, DJ Top 100, etc. Lastly, must have at least 3 EPs, 3 full albums, and 5 plus signature songs that are icons in the music world. Originals and or remixes can qualify. Special note, the project can have a time of taking a break from the scene due to health slash unfortunate circumstances or replanning the project as long as the creator does not confirm the end of the project or leaves the music space entirely in less than 10 years. Remember, not just any EDM artist can be in this category. So let's dive into the third episode of the Electric DM Hall of Fame. Alright, Ravers, it's been a while since my previous Hall of Fame, but I guarantee you this one is going to be worth the wait. In this episode, wait, what was that? Yep, that was me 6 years ago at the time of me showing this image. You're probably wondering how I am not going to start the video out like that. However, wait, I hear birds. Hey. Well, if anyone can guess who I'm going to be covering and who has earned a spot in the Hall of Fame, it is this vibrant yet underrated titan of the EDM world, Holo. From his origins to the strong standings with what he has built in his own name, this is an artist that I will always recommend to someone that's diving into electronic music. He has come a long way in making his sounds to become recognizable to all listeners. We got a lengthy Hall of Fame documentary for this episode, so grab some snacks, drinks, or make a couple of candies on this one. And make sure, if you have a bird, to let them hear this one too. I'll even add a personal story on my growth that his music has helped me so much in the end of this video. Time to bring in the mighty hummingbird that has made his marks for the electronic dance music scene. Holo, real name Sander van Disch, is a Dutch guitarist, producer, artist, songwriter, and DJ from Zoetermeer in South Holland, Netherlands. Known for creating a style that may indeed have its own special category of EDM, many should not pass on this fact. San is well diverse in future bass, trap music, ambient electronic, and as of late 2024, a unique category of dubstep music to add along his diversification. But let's not forget his strong creative side with guitar slash ambient music that brought him to have his signature sounds for all EDM lovers to vibe with. Being known with his electronic sounds along with blending it with rock influences and vibrant noises, he has listeners exploring his songs with several emotions and purpose. Discovered from the early SoundCloud 2010 times with his songs and remixes, his touch on the electronic music is now very well recognized that even alphas of the EDM world would consider San to stand among them. With a lot to tackle, we need to take a trip back to where it all began for Sander. During his childhood times, San took up the interest in playing the guitar as he felt music was a way he can connect and communicate with any listener. Also, before he created the project, he was involved in many bands, traveling around Germany, doing weekend gigs, and even sleeping on the floor after playing them. Sander mentions in an interview, "It was fun and all, but there wasn't a strategy to elevate. There was a random person that said to him and his fellow band members one night, 'You gotta start somewhere.'" Due to how limited he can create music with only his guitar, he started having ideas in expanding his knowledge through music production. So, he started teaching himself the basics with his first DAW, Logic. After studying music production at Rotterdam's Coarts University of the Arts in 2012, he then started teaching people how to play the guitar. This didn't stop Sander from teaching himself with more music production skills and learning from other producers too. While being a teaching guitarist for some time, he thought to himself, "Why don't I take a shot in making my own music for everyone to hear?" Sander chose the name Son Holo. With his newborn identity for the music world, he started exploring electronic music in a serious manner. This ended up gaining a notice with his band members, as they only liked his live guitar style just for the band, but were not pleased with his new drive for the sounds of EDM. Some members even calling his EDM creations demonic to their ears. This wasn't what San went for. The sounds he aimed for showcased his blend of emotional songwriting, melodic flows, and a future bass/trap energy. But let's add a giant dose of ambience too. With that notice, he departed from the bands and started his own journey into sound. In 2013, after confirming his project name, he released his first 2 EPs, Corellia and Demons. Interesting enough when someone called his EDM stuff demonic. We will cover more on these EPs towards the end of the video. Some of the first origins he posted were actually remixes. These include Outkast's Miss Jackson remix and his Point Point Double Oreo remix. These songs were attention grabbers for the dance floor as San started performing behind the DJ decks. But it was his remix of Dr. Dre, The Next Episode, not only skyrocketing his trap sound, but gained him access to travel the US for the very first time. This song even went significantly viral in the 2014 year on an application called Vine. You're an OG if you remember this app. His song was mainly played in 5 to 6 second short clip videos, being the primary song for epic winning montages. For San, it was the start of his small but nostalgic remixes called Don't Touch the Classics. However, San unfortunately faced legal copyright hits for this remix and others, causing him to close this side project down for a good while. Even worse is that he explained with what happened to the remixes. He gives detail in a podcast saying these weren't official remixes backed up and confirmed by the producers, rappers/singers. This was due to vocal copyright rules, and with SoundCloud's new policies, he didn't want to risk getting his account deleted. 100% understandable, and sadly, he had to nuke the songs. Further backing these statements I just mentioned, here is San in a video podcast saying and giving confirmation with what happened.
We have million play tracks, like the next episode, like 8 million plays on SoundCloud. And I just hit
delete.
Yeah, delete. Gone. But a lot of my friends
You should put on private, man.
no, because they still see
No,
it on private.
they'll still see it when you upload it private.
They will get you. If you upload something on private, they will just strike you immediately.
Dude.
And a couple of my friends actually they lost their entire account because I didn't delete it, and I was like, I know I don't want to do this, but I have to, and I deleted all of them. I actually
How did that
recorded it.
feel?
I could see Simon sitting in front of his computer like,
Terrible.
oh,
That's gotta be awful.
Yeah,
man.
it's terrible.
He even goes further with some of his first supporters and other anonymous users reposting the remixes on their own SoundCloud pages, only for the nightmare to happen with them instead of San. It was a necessary move to dodge the missile of a SoundCloud deletion. Not to worry, as every producer knows, it's mainly the original songs that keep supporters wanting to hear your style for the long run of a project. In this case, San already had songs in the works, especially some iconic tunes that no one was ready for. With more songs taking form and being released, one song was about to make its ascension for the early San Holo supporters. This song was We Rise. Officially released in 2015, this was being in the right moment at the right time event for San on this main reason. Sonny Morn, aka Skrillex, caught notice of San's music and decided to have his song on the now retired Nest HQ sub-record label that was a part of Ausla. He personally tweeted about San's song. He even tweeted about San's song that caught a really good attention grab by the thousands. I'll say this, Ravers, if one of the greatest of all timers praises a song that you created and it's on his record label, this is going to be a project worth rooting for. We Rise gives an inspirational atmosphere on how we rise and fall, only to have that inner motivational spirit in rising up again after failing. From an impactful / painful event, an unfortunate loss, or leaving from someone that's no longer good for you, comes forth a better connection, outcome, experience, and a better tomorrow. Another song that also needs to be mentioned is Fly, especially some of the remixes that he still plays on stage, now being 10 years old as of 2026. But this next song, in which any San Holo rooter would agree to be his official signature song and would forever define the 2010s decade of electronic dance music on a greater scale than We Rise. The track in mention delivers an uplifting, aromatic journey. This song is all but one word. Simple, yet very powerful, and the song is none other than Light. Sonder decided to place this song on his own record label, Bitbird, in the year of 2016, and Light had a music video release in 2017. With all the songs he has crafted and shared to the world, he hit massive streaming success with millions of plays on Light and We Rise. Further covering Light, thousands of music producers and DJs decided to take a spin on making their own versions / unofficial remixes. One that went significantly viral was Light's remix by Nitty, formerly known as Nitty Gritty. A blend from Kanye West's All of the Lights, mainly used from Rihanna's vocals, and it was a blend from San Holo's Light. This is what Nitty created the Lights remix that went significantly viral at the time of its release. If you are a DJ, there is a good chance you have a few to a handful of remixes on Light in your music library. Don't hide it. If you are a DJ, I'm breaking the fourth wall in this business, and yes, I'm talking to you. If you have played them in a set, well done. These were big wins for Sonder, but he has bigger plans for a direction to make his first album. For the year 2018, he had a vision to create his first official album, and he decided to implement those experiences that he has gathered throughout the years with an old but not forgotten talent. That speciality was speaking to him in returning to the guitar and combining creative forces with his music production experiences to create his first album, being called Album 1. Also stated in a podcast episode with creating this album, he wanted his own songs to be released at his free will. Once completed, he launched the Album 1 tour across North America and Europe. Fans and rooters of San mentioning how he blended live guitar playing with his EDM sets too was something that needed to be implemented more in the scene. It was around this time that San was moving away from heavier trap / festival music and leaned into the emotional, melodic, and introspective production. This right here was the start of his vibrant era that he still carries onward. In the 2019 year, he continues to expand into his creativity with a side of remixes too. He even won a few dance music awards from his first album, including International Dance Music Award and Best Electronic Album of the Year. Going into 2020, however, the pandemic that brought the entire world to its knees was when San decided to make his second album. During the pandemic, he was a part of online festivals before he also went off the social media radar for some time to reconnect with his mental health and personal life. He then returned with a single many months later. For this single, it was the start of his second album, And the song was also the same title as the album San was creating, Baby You Okay. After many months making the songs that connected with emotional honesty and loneliness, Baby You Okay was released mid-2021. More focused on his guitar writing and his connection with inner emotions, he wanted the world to experience this album in the ways he felt. So much so that he placed an album tour when the pandemic restrictions were lifted. Many people saw this album as a post-EDM identity of San being more than just electronic music, but a core essence of staying vibrant in the dark and brighter times. He also has a full video stream set on YouTube of this album. Now onward to 2022, and following the success of Baby You Okay, San continued onward with a remix album which will be covered later on in the video. Also was starting to brainstorm his third album, which was going to be called EDM, or Existential Dance Music. This album was to reconnect with his inner self due to unfortunate experiences with various panic attacks and ask himself big but important questions that he hasn't asked in a while. Who really am I? What am I doing? Who can I be happy with and share my happiness with, along with many more deep personal questions? The album placed some singles out to the world, including Tiny Flowers, one of my personal favorites, and an underrated iconic song, Don't Look Down. This album became just as successful as the previous one, if not more successful. Lastly, a notable and rare back-to-back was played in EDC China with Madion, an OG that was a part of Brownies and Lemonade, which San Holo is also a part of Brownies and Lemonade. And this back-to-back wasn't the only time that was played, because the two ran it back for Ultra Music Festival Miami 2024. The era of San going from soft and melodic into an evolution of impacting and awe-striking punchy tunes, he changed his presence all over the socials to bring forth a new chapter of his musical status. What he has created, San Holo calls wholesome rhythm. You want to find dark underground dubstep or rough striking rhythm-based tunes here? Mainly the wrong place to get that dose of music. He has a complete 180 of what millions are familiar with, the subcategory rhythm. Even though there are some producers that are grandfathers of the gnarly bass music, San decided to give its own name of a lighter yet still energy-pumping bass presence for the dubstep world. He even includes various yellow themes on his sets and making a directional aura that is now making its name for bass music. This photo right here is just of a dog and demonic creature meme that it made its round on social media for introducing something brand new into Lost Lands. For those that don't know, Lost Lands is a music festival themed in heavy dubstep, drum and bass, and some bass house for the wonky and aggressive music lovers. Oh yeah, and it's themed with dinosaurs too. There are some producers that bring melodic bass in their own projects here, but for San Holo, this new chapter was one that Lost Lands was not ready for. Ever since it's set in Lost Lands 2024, Sander has shifted from the previous ambient styles of EDM to the happy but roughly vibrant side, in which he calls this type of rhythm wholesome. This set was an incredible eye-opener for bass music heads of all sorts. However, let's not forget an important key factor in his career. In the year 2025, San Holo created a special yet exclusive 10-year anniversary mini tour that he performed in certain locations all over the US. This, of course, was to celebrate the 10 years of San Holo. He had the following sets, all performed by him and with a team that placed it all together. An ambient 30-minute set of live guitars that many recognized the songs and sang along. Imagine being around a campfire, but it was with artificial light-up candles instead. A DJ set going from 2025 back in time to 2014, and a live set with instruments and San jamming it out with the electric guitar. As of 2026, Sander is still going strong with his project name and is ready to launch his fourth album, which will be released on early June 2026. Well, kind of a lengthy history here, Ravers. Let's take it up to the travels and tours. When it comes to the tours, San Holo has done numerous tours, both as his name and outside of his name, gaining that background experience before taking it to the real deal for the electronic music world. The tours go by the following: Album 1 tour, which was around 2018 through 2019, Baby You OK tour in 2021 and 2022, the EDM tour 2023 and 2024, the 10 Years of Son Holo, which was a 4-city exclusive mini tour that took place in early 2025. Last but not least, the Wholesome Rhythm Tour, Part 1 and 2, that were both into separate categories and throughout 2024 and finishing off in early 2026. But for his new album, which will be called True Love in a Made Up World, this tour will launch on fall of 2026. Now let's get into the travels. Son, along with the other Hall of Famers in this series, have been just about everywhere, including the following: all over North America, Europe, and various unique locations in Asia, Australia, and South America. Son is now known as an international producer, and that reputation precedes him. He has performed in clubs from countless destinations, including major cities of the US and beyond. He even performed day club sets under the scorching heat at the pool in Las Vegas a couple of times. Of course, we cannot forget about his gargantuan standings in music festivals, including the following: Coachella, Lollapalooza, Outside Lands, Red Rocks, Lost Lands, Hard Summer, Ultra Music Festival, and many more. But let's dive into Electric Daisy Carnival just for a bit. His first ever EDC was actually in Las Vegas for 2016. Which stage he performed, I'm not too sure. I couldn't find the information on that. But he did dominate 2 of the 3 main stages. One was in EDC Las Vegas, Kinetic Field 2019, and Cosmic Meadow at least 3 times, if not more. One of the EDC sets was, in fact, a live set for 2022. And his most recent set at the time of this recording was his Wholesome Rhythm set for EDC Las Vegas 2026. And this was one of the most talked about sets out of the entire festival. But let's not forget Tomorrowland, as he played a daytime set on the main stage in 2018. Before we get into the fun facts, Ravers, let's take a look at his musical pages to see how gargantuan the numbers are. First, let's take a look at where he started, which is SoundCloud. On that platform, he has over 470,000 followers with 240 tracks submitted. Most of these are his own songs, but there are a few, as his recent posting that you see right here on the screen. This is his Wholesome Rhythm set that he played at EDC Las Vegas 2026. I strongly recommend you ravers hear this set. Jumping into Spotify, he has over 1 million monthly listeners, and he's actually close to 1.1 million monthly listeners. All right, for the fun facts, but before we touch on those fun facts...
Yo, someone just got me this plant. Make some noise for this plant.
Yep, I had to include that one. All right, here we go with the fun facts. An Insta has been activated under Son Holo that features his guitar side project. I didn't know that he made another musical project in 2023, but now it's in full tuning mode. If you like his ambient musical side, check out his Instagram of Son111, Son111. Link to this account will be in the EDM box below. Brownies and Lemonade, which is a promoting team that throws underground raves and events in LA, with the help of Son, did an elevator YouTube set. But around almost halfway into the set, this happened.
It's gone? People were going too hard, so we broke the elevator.
So he took the DJ gear, went outside, and everyone got to have a vibrant time instead of being all crammed in an elevator.
Let's do it right here.
Especially when the VIP outro with all the highs dropped.
This song is called All the Highs. VIP shit right here.
His representation for birds and hummingbirds is an iconic symbol for him in the early times. So much so that he has features of the hummingbird visuals in early sets. Now it's his vibrant arrow and percent duo pair symbols that marks his project. Speaking of birds, take a look at this little clip. Despite his iconic underground trap remixes that gave him his start, Son isn't really a fan of making remixes and prefers to craft his own music and sound.
I really did not like making remixes. I still don't really enjoy making remixes because I prefer just doing my own thing, writing my own lyrics, writing my own songs.
Sonder has been one of the first producers that showed up in few EDM social media projects such as YouTube channels and raving creating teams like I'm Peaking Podcast. One of the first creative channels was with a former YouTube channel called Sidewalk Talk that has now moved on into another direction outside of EDM. He wiped his Insta around the time of 2024, mostly to make way for the Wholesome Rhythm chapter, but in this mark, he cherishes and evolved from the core sounds / vibrant style he once posted, still in his heart and producing spirit, but he made way for that new era, as I mentioned, to be Wholesome Rhythm. Holo is one of few electronic producers that often plays live instruments on stage, including his signature guitar, while also DJing, a blend that is rare in EDM shows. He did an exclusive set for Escape Halloween 2025 at around 3 p.m. on the feeding grounds before the festival was to open up. Mainly for this reason, he has joined the masked DJ performers like several others that are very well known in the scene. Mainly, he just has a macaw mask for the early bird set, which was a one-in-time thing, but who knows if he'll be able to bring out the macaw again. If you ravers know any other fun facts about Son, feel free to post them down in the comments below, and maybe you'll get a yellow heart. Alright ravers, it's time to get into the musical side of what he has done. But first, we're going to go through the collaborations, the singers, and the record labels. For some of the collabs that he's done, we got the following producers that have helped him out with some songs: Jaws, Yellowclaw, Chet Porter, Sesko, Duskus, Jai Wolf, What's So Not, Miha, Chami, and Slander. There are a few others, but these are the ones that are the most notable. But here are some that I would like to have as a dream collab, which I can see massive potential, and that will be the following: Illenium, Infect, Skrillex, and maybe even Zed. Seeing for these 4 producers with his wholesome rhythm spin would be absolutely epic. Oh, and another fun fact, as me giving one more. He was direct support for Zed in the Park with one of Zed's events, which was really cool. Now on to the singers. There are a plethora of singers that he has worked with throughout the years, but here are some that I would like to note out, and they are Sophie Winterson, Amanda Joy, Bipolar Sunshine, Lizzie Land, Aurora, special producer and singer T-Pain, which I am very, very hyped for this collab. I cannot wait till it comes out.
All I do is win, win, win.
But here is one singer and producer that if Son hears this, I would like for him to have a chance to do something with, and that is Linny. Now for the record label releases. Here are some of the handful records labels that I'm going to mention: Monster Cat, Good Vibrations, Heroic Recordings, Helix Recordings, and a few others, but he has created his very own record label, and it suits him for his EDM style along with other indie EDM style like music, and it's none other than Bitbird. Well ravers, it's time for the discography, so prepare yourselves because we got a lengthy list here. Starting out with the singles, here are some that I will be mentioning. In the end, I Just Want You to Be Happy, Lost Lately, Brighter Days, Donkey Kong. Yes, there is an actual song that's called Donkey Kong that he made. You've Changed, I've Changed, It Hurts, I Still See Your Face, Honest, and there's just way too many more to count out. But into the remixes we go. We have Outkast, Miss Jackson remix that he did, Skrillex, Fred Again, and Flowdan with Rumble, which that's his existential remix that he did, Yellowclaw and DJ Mustard In My Room, Point Point Double Oreo, Porter Robinson, Natural Light, Tupac, California Love, featuring Dr. Dre, and of course his iconic remix of The Next Episode by Dr. Dre. Jumping into the EPs, we have Corelia and Demons, which both were released in 2013, which here's the little bit that I wanted to mention. These EPs have been removed from streaming services entirely, Only those that can scour the internet or through word of mouth / connections, you'll be able to find these early songs that Sandra made. But we get into the Victory EP. This is only 3 songs, but I'm mentioning this one on this little dose of a chance for 2015. New Sky EP in 2016, the Trip EP for 2017, his Stay Vibrant EP for 2020, What Is Life EP 2024, and lastly, an Introduction to Wholesome Rhythm for 2025. Now, jumping into the albums, we have the following. Album 1 with 12 songs that was released on September 21st, 2018. His second album, Baby You Okay, with a total of 20 songs being released on June 4th, 2021. Existential Dance Music, EDM for short, with 15 songs being released on September 15th, 2023. And his up-and-coming 4th album, which will be released on June 5th, 2026, True Love in a Made-Up World. As of right now, no official confirmation of how many songs there will be on the album, but this is definitely going to be an album. But speaking of albums, we have the remix albums that we're going to be placing in, and we've got a good amount of artists that have helped out with this album. One of them is actually light remixes. This album was released in 2017. These were official and confirmed by Holo, which now, of course, we have hundreds of remixes, edits, and bootlegs of light that were just created all over the place in various different styles. But for this unique little batch, San confirmed that these ones are going to be placed for his official remix album. The Future Remixes album released in 2017, his album 1 remix album in 2019, and many years later, mainly for 2025, 2 remix albums were released, which is The Broken Heart and Re-Rise, the collection album. Up next, I would like to give some of my own personal recommendations for anyone that is getting into San Holo's music, and they will be in 2 categories, with songs to just cry or sob your eyes out and get emotional, versus the ones to just be vibrant with. Let's get emotional first for a bit. Some of these would include I Don't Know Who I Am, I'm Thinking of You, Tiny Flowers, If Only I Could Hold You, Letting Go, I'm Sorry, You've Changed, I've Changed, Baby You Okay, I Just Wanna Fucking Cry, Disappear, In Case I Never See You Again. But we can't be all down and gloomy from the tough times, because we of course gotta get into the vibrant and happy times. And here are some of the songs that can get you there. All of the highs, especially the outro VIP. Shine, Find Your Way, Fly, Don't Look Down, Lift Me From the Ground, Feel Again, We Will Meet Again, Brighter Days, Okay, Old Days, If You Know, You Know. And finally, to conclude this entire documentary, we gotta mention the iconic songs that San Holo is known for. Dr. Dre, The Next Episode, San Holo Remix. Doja Cat, So High, San Holo Remix. Lift Me From the Ground, Fly, One Thing, We Rise, and last but not least, Light. Well, we are at the end of the documentary, Ravers, but here are my final thoughts. I was able to meet him actually twice, and I will be able to see him for the 3rd time because at the time I was making the final touches of this documentary, he will be doing a pop-up for his 4th album, True Love in a Made-Up World, in early June of 2026. I am so stoked to be there and in hopes to hear what he has in store for us. So I met him right before the pandemic tore the world apart, and in 2022 when he was rooting for Wave Dash when they were on stage at Exchange LA. I saw him perform with someone that I won't say this individual, but this was in 2017 that I went with someone for the very first time. She was the one that introduced me to San Holo style, even when the path was extremely short in knowing this particular individual, along with a rejection that stung me for over a year. I didn't let my experience seeing San become my only time seeing him. I saw him again for that epic set in 2022 when he took the stage of Exchange LA and selling out the Hollywood Palladium on Valentine's Day in 2025. He took over the Palladium for his 10-year anniversary exclusive tour, and the 3 sets all having the unique styles that I did not expect him to make. One of the best sets that I have ever seen for my 10-year journey in being an EDM raver, and they were the following sets.
I'm Songer. I'm a songwriter. I'm opening for Holo tonight. DJ, EDM, something like that. Not really my thing. Oh, happy Valentine's Day,
The ambient 30-minute set that he, along with 2 other well-known individuals, took stage to play the ambient styles of his signature songs. His DJ set that went from 2025 all the way through 2014, plus him playing the next episode and the Miss Jackson remix for the finale, was absolutely incredible. And lastly, him jamming it out with the electric guitar to his signature songs that he has crafted. And to wrap it up with California Love's Don't Touch the Classics remix. These 3 sets were incredible, but one that I did not expect was to be a part of the after party. And I'm going to shout out this screenshot right here with this particular individual, that he had an extra ticket for me to go and see the after party, which took place a couple of blocks away from the Palladium. So that's my shout out to you. Thank you so much. This footage wouldn't have been possible without you. The Lost Lands Wholesome Rhythm set was, in my opinion, one of the best sets that I have seen in Lost Lands, period. Many of his songs that he created from the past were transformed into a wholesome rhythm style that was very well fit for the Dino-themed music festival. And if he ever places any of these edits or wholesome rhythm versions, I am hands down gonna snag him 100%. Just goes to show how well diverse Holo is with his musical styles. Here's where this documentary is gonna go into a big side quest into a personal moment for me personally. His songs got me through some very tough times. This was especially true when it came to 2022 through around 2023/2024, and then again right in the middle of 2025 until like the final days of last year. From many personal connections of my past and folks just deciding to no longer know me or just ghost me, these songs were my coping mechanism from my unfortunate outcomes. But in reality, I know that deep within, even though these experiences were emotionally painful and the outcomes were of the unfortunate, I didn't lose. They decided to lose me, especially when I had my first heartbreak in 2017, along with several others. So a particular gal introduced me to Holo's music in late 2017, and we both went together to the event, just her and I. It was my first time ever going on a quote-unquote date, but it wasn't a date. I should have known it was coming from a mile away. But it was my first time hanging out with a gal ever. However, I was rejected and discarded less than a week later. This wasn't the first time being denied to know someone closer, but the very first of me having that hurting impact that lasted for a long time, and I would say around a year and a half. Not being a hopeless romance, but it would be awesome to have that bond with another someone that relates to you on numerous levels, to have that foundation of camaraderie and to see if that camaraderie can shine into something even greater and worthwhile, and most of all, memorable. I don't even know what that term is called, a hopeless romance, hopeless something, and it was a terminology that I heard from a while ago. More denials and losses happened for the years that followed up, and up to including the 2025 year, plus remembering the painful chapter of me losing my ability to walk from a massive physical stress attack that took me 3 years on and off to fully recover since 2022. Also 2 operations which required me to travel/recover outside of the US countless times. Every time I was alone in my own dark place, I told myself with the music that I really enjoyed, whether it was aggressive, whether it's melodic, or everything in between, especially with San's music. I told myself, I'll evolve in the dark, alone, and once I heal from my health and getting to these better social connections, I know I'm going to become greater than before. In hopes to know but remain cautiously vulnerable for new folks of interest and those that are a part of the raving slash music creators of all sorts. I don't want to lose that hope in knowing the very few that relate to me, as I'm just another outcast in the world. And as someone that struggles in knowing people, I don't wish to bother or be a burden on anyone either. If they want to go, then they can leave. But they all have no idea who they lost. And it was actually Holo that he mentioned a quote from the past, but I'm paraphrasing it. If I'm lucky, I will grow old. And when I'm old, nearly everyone that I knew will leave me behind. The only thing that I can leave behind for everyone is the impacting music that I have created for everyone to hear with what I've done. Something along those lines. But here's another really good quote that really stuck to me. Knowing someone isn't hard. Life is hard. Don't take it out on those that you want to know. Don't take it out on one another. With all those unfortunate experiences, San's music, along with others, really helped me in those dark, lonely times. And yeah, if it wasn't for her introducing me to San Holo almost 10 years ago, I would not know or be a massive supporter on this scale. No matter what has been said to me for being my honest self, whether in or out of my bloodline, I don't wish the pain I went through alone on anyone that has made their choice in taking me for granted. Except for that one gal that I wanted to know, but she hooked up with a raggedy tall stranger in an emo club. This was after getting out of my recovery on 2 walking canes. More than half a year, which it took me to recover from me getting to walk again. I'm very glad I left her behind at that club. The definition of a loser. And, oh yeah, the time a drunk woman assaulted me, but I got to meet Jaws and I gave him a candy, which I have no idea why some drunk woman was to slam me upside the head. Oh yeah, and the girl that threw her alcohol and ice at me because of her rude ego in me not wanting to drink because I went way too far into the side quest. We need to finish the documentary. Well, I met him in person twice, and a very good chance the other individuals would not have that opportunity, especially now they are no longer a part of my life, ever. But the main reason why I don't connect a song to someone is this, Ravers. Music is the language of the universe, and I don't want that love to ever leave me from an unfortunate impacting outcome, mainly from someone I wanted to know, but that individual's decision in leaving me, resulting in their existence no longer mattering, which is very unfortunate. Having a song that reminds you of someone, it can hurt big time, but there are songs out there capable of healing and reminding us ravers why we love this type of music in the first place. It's the one language that will never leave us, especially if one decides to be a DJ, producer for a reasonable time into making a career out of it. Now that the EDM style of music is gaining popularity, it's our job as ravers to hold that core and ensure impacting projects have a meaningful community for years to come. And it also depends on the creator of the project/projects, how they conduct themselves to their audiences. Trust me, for San Holo, he is way up there for that true vibrant energy that isn't easy for a supporter like me to forget. And I'm really looking forward to the wholesome rhythm set for the Hollywood Palladium in fall 2026, along with so many songs that he has transformed into wholesome rhythm, especially light whenever he releases that version. Mainly the pop-up event that's going to be taking place in Los Angeles early June 2026. I'm going to be there. San is known for his guitar-driven live shows and the stay vibrant musical genius that promotes being well with your mental health. With multiple styles, a record label that he, along with a team, manages, and so much more, he has earned a spot in the Hall of Fame, an underrated legend as one of the greatest of all timers. One thing is certain, for Sander style, no matter how dark it may get in life, we must rise, fly, and reach outward to see the light. And that, Ravers, is the end of the third episode for the Electric DM Hall of Fame. If you made it to the end of this documentary, I want to say from the bottom of my heart, thank you for sticking around and thank you for tuning in to this documentary. There are more along the way that I have to put them out there for my channel, and I cannot wait to get them going, to edit them, to see how I can improve for these EDM legends that have shaped our lives, that have created inspiration for us to keep going, and in some cases, like Holo, has saved my life tremendously. And Sander, if you hear this documentary as a supporter, I want to say from the bottom of my heart, thank you for everything that you've done. I cannot wait for many more years to come. Please check out Holo's social media pages, which will be in the EDM box below. And before I end up getting emotional from this documentary, I will also throw my EDM links in the EDM box below. And I would like to say just one last time, Sander, thank you so much for saving my life. Here's to many more years of your style impacting the EDM universe. Thank you, Ravers. Lastly, keep listening, stay safe, and rave on.